Welcome children. Today we are going to learn the new chapter from our English reader, and the name of the chapter is Neha's Alarm Clock. Now, waking up in the morning is an issue for all of us. Right children? Sometimes we might feel a little lazy to wake up. Right? We feel lazy, it's a normal thing. Not only children, even as adults, sometimes we do feel a little hesitant to wake up early in the morning. But you know, there are only benefits when we get up in the early morning hours and do about our activities, right? For you, normally when you go to school, you are supposed to wake up at certain time and you have to come to school, should be on time and many other things. Not only for waking up, there is a time for doing all your matters. And you have to be punctual. So being on time means being punctual, and it is very important that we follow it because we are following certain rules. Wherever we go, whether it's an institution or a school, there are rules for us to follow, and one of the main rules is that we should be on time. We should be punctual. So in order to maintain this, what do? On our side table in our bedroom, we will have, most of us will be having a clock, and nowadays we have digital clocks, right? And what do? We set the alarm. We have an alarm, most of us would be having it, so we do set the time, and at the right time the alarm ticks, we all get up from our sleep, right? So this story is about a girl called Neha, a young girl who is more or less your age, but then she does not want to wake up early in the morning, and there are many things, many efforts that she takes in order to not wake up, but then she ends up getting up at that time, and finally one day she just woke up all by herself. So she was surprised, and when she asked her mother whether her mother has woken her up, her mother simply replies that there is nobody else but you yourself who woke up at that particular time. Okay. Now let us get into the lesson. Turn to page 6, Neha's Alarm Clock. Ring, ring, ring goes off the alarm clock at 6 in the morning. Neha makes a face and, covering her ears with a pillow, snuggles under a warm blanket. But she knows she has to get up. She mutters to herself, "This alarm clock always rings at 6 and pulls me out of the bed. It's so unfair. Oh, how I would love to sleep a little longer in the morning. I wish this clock would forget its job sometimes." So, we understand that Neha is a little lazy to get up early in the morning. She wants to lay in a comfortable bed. She wants to snuggle under the blanket, and she wants to just spend her time like that. And when the alarm goes on, right, she really detests it. She gets so angry, and what happens is that she's saying, the alarm clock always rings at the same time and it pulls me out of bed. And she's thinking that it's unfair. She's saying that it's very unfair. Unfair means something which is not right, it is not just. And she's saying, oh, how I would love to sleep a little longer in the morning. And she really wishes that the clock forgets its work. That means she wishes that the clock stops working. Something falls and Neha smiles. Now what is this something? Let us see. "Oh, my clock has fallen. How happy I am. Tomorrow I can get up late." So what has fallen down? Her own alarm clock. And she's so happy about it. She's saying, oh, it has fallen down. Maybe it got spoiled. And maybe I don't have to get up early tomorrow. Next morning there is no alarm. So Neha sleeps and sleeps. Small chirpy birds which come to the windowsill every morning finds Neha still sleeping. "Wake up, dear, wake up fast." Neha gets up with a start. "Oh no, if it's not the alarm clock, it's these birds. Why don't they leave me alone?" Even this wish of Neha comes true, and the next morning there is not only no alarm clock, there are no birds either. But there is someone else who does not want her to miss the school bus. Can you guess who it is? The big bright sun. He fills Neha's room with a warm smile. Okay, so once her clock falls down, she really feels so happy and she feels that next day she can sleep. And what happens was that next day at that time at around 6 o'clock there was no alarm, right, and she continues sleeping. But then the small chirpy birds which come to the windowsill every morning finds Neha still sleeping. So as you know, birds always wake up early in the morning and they start chirping and hovering around, right? They are so active in the morning and they make lots of noises. Wake up dear, wake up fast. So the birds want her to wake up. And let's see, Neha gets up with a start and she is so irritated and she is saying, oh no, if it's not the alarm clock, it's these birds. Why don't they leave me alone? She is getting irritated with them and she wants them to keep quiet. And let us see, next morning what happens? Even this wish of Neha comes true. The next morning there is not any alarm clock and there are no birds either. So next morning there was no alarm clocks and birds did not come to disturb her, right? And windowsill, children, means the bottom part of the window, and it is there in your book. You can get a picture of it. Windowsill. Okay, so the birds actually, they come to the windowsill and they start chirping and they try to wake her up. She gets irritated and next morning what happens? Even the birds don't come to wake her up. But then there is somebody who wants Neha to get up. And who is that? Yes, it's a bright sun. The sun shines brightly and fills Neha's room with bright sunlight. And what happens is that Neha is forced to get up. Oh my eyes, it's the sun waking me up. Why can't he let me be? Even this wish of Neha's comes true. Next morning the sun is behind the clouds. So Neha snores till she hears a mother's voice. Wake up, sleepyhead, you will miss the bus. Oh no, why does mother have to wake me up? There is no escape now. Neha gets up and gets ready. Can you imagine what happens next day? Neha wakes up with a start. Her watch says it is 6 o'clock. She calls out to her mother, Ma, who woke me up today? So what happens? As you know, the sun was shining brightly and Neha again gets irritated and she says, oh my eyes, now is the sun waking me up. Why can't he let me be? So again she's irritated with the sunlight. Even if this wish of Neha's come true and the next morning there is no sunlight, it is a very rainy, cloudy day, and so Neha snores away. She does not wake up and her mother yells at her. Her mother calls out, wake up, sleepyhead, you will miss the bus. So she has to go to school, right, and she's not up yet, and so the mother shouts at her and she's saying, oh no, why does mother have to wake me up? So this girl wants to basically sleep in the morning. There is no escape now. She gets ready. And the next day what happens? The next day Neha wakes up with a start, and when she checks up her watch, it's 6 o'clock. And again she gets agitated and she tells her mother, Ma, who woke me up today? Mother smiles. Who else? You, of course. But I was sleeping. How could I? Now tell me, why do you eat your lunch every day at 1 in the afternoon? I feel hungry. Why do you sleep at 9 every night? Because I feel sleepy. There is a clock inside you which tells you when to eat, when to sleep, and when to wake up. Oh, I better rush now. I don't want to miss the bus. Relax, today's Sunday. Oh, that is what Neha's replying. So she woke up that particular day, without the assistance of the alarm clock, nor the birds, or not the sunshine. And all of a sudden she just woke up at the correct time at 6 o'clock and she's telling her mother, did you wake me up? And her mother just smiles there. And what does she say? Who else? You yourself woke up. And she is again having a doubt. She is saying, but I was asleep, or I was sleeping. How could I? So the mother's making her understand. She's telling her, why do you eat your lunch every day at 1 in the noon? And Neha's saying that she's hungry, that is why. And also, why does she sleep every night at 9 o'clock? She is saying because she feels sleepy by that time. And so mother explains to her, there is a clock inside us or inside you which tells you when to eat, when to sleep and when to wake up. So children, there is a clock inside us. It is correct what they had mentioned here. That is, there is an intuition in us that tells us that this is the time for doing different things and we are supposed to adhere to that. Okay, and at the right time, if you pay attention, you will understand at around 12, 12:30 or 1, we will start being hungry and we understand that it's the time to have our lunch. And in the night time, we will feel tired. At around 9, 9:30, we do feel tired. So our body gives a signal that this is a time for certain things. There is a time when we are hungry, there is a time when we sleep, and there is also a time when we wake up. So our body is a very unique machine that helps us. The unique machine works in very mysterious ways, and the thing is, we have a body clock inside us that tells us to do different things at different time. Right children? From morning hours, like when to wake up, our body gives us a signal, and when to have our food when you are hungry, and when we feel asleep. All these activities, basic activities of our life, our body clock helps us to make us understand exactly at what time. So we don't require an alarm clock or any external force to tell us when to do the things. Automatically we will get accustomed and we will get up at the right time. Most of you will also get up at the same time, like there's an intuition inside you. But some of us do depend on alarm clocks, but later on it becomes a part of our life and we do the things accordingly. Okay, so Neha's mother is telling her to relax because Neha thought that she would miss a school bus. She's saying, oh, I better rush now. I don't want to miss the bus. Relax. Today is Sunday, her mother's telling her. And then Neha realizes. So, even on a Sunday, she wakes up. So this tells us that our body, there is a body clock inside all of us that gives us a signal to do certain things at the right time, to do the things at the right time. So that it's always important for us to wake up early in the morning in order to do our matters or do our activities properly. Right? Early morning hours gives us a lot of energy and we will be, rejuvenated at the early morning hours. We have to take our breakfast at the correct time. You're not supposed to skip your breakfast, and also you have to take our food at the right time. So our body clock also helps us in all these things. It helps us to do our main duties or basic duties at the right time. So children, you should understand to be punctual. Right? You go to school, you go to an education institution, you are supposed to adhere to the time, or you are supposed to be punctual. Same way at workplaces also. So we do take the assistance of our alarm clock, but then we should also understand that there is an alarm clock inside us and we should learn how to be accustomed to that without any exterior assistance to help us to wake up. Okay, now let us see certain new words. Snuggle over here. We might be knowing it, you might be knowing it. The meaning of the word snuggle means move into a warm, comfortable position. When it's a rainy day, we like to be in bed, we like to lie down in bed, we snuggle under a blanket to be comfortable, right? So move into a warm, comfortable position. Snuggle. Mutters. What is mutters? To say something in a low, barely audible voice. So mutters. Neha was muttering when she was woken up, right? By the birds or by the alarm clock. So muttering means saying something or speaking in a very low and less audible voice. Windowsill, the down or the bottom portion of the window. You can also call it a window pane. Now relax means to become less tensed or anxious. It's always good for us to be relaxed and calm. Right? It's always good for our mind. So the meaning of the word relax is to become less tensed and anxious. Okay children, I hope you understood the lesson, Neha's alarm clock, and I hope all of us would also do the same thing, that is listen, try and listen to our own inner voices, inner body clocks, right? You have to read the lesson and go through it. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you children.